Imagine being a 17-year-old kid who grew up in public housing, suddenly staring down the lenses of every major media outlet in the world. Sports analysts were broadcasting on national television that this teenager would eclipse Michael Jordan, all before he had played a single minute of professional basketball. History is littered with exceptional teenage prospects who shattered and faded away under a fraction of that pressure. But the athlete at the center of this storm absorbed the hype and ruled over the league for the next 20 years. To maintain that multi-decade reign, the local prodigy had to repeatedly strip away his own identity. He would undergo 4 distinct reincarnations, each born from a devastating failure. In his early years with the Cleveland Cavaliers, LeBron James was a physical marvel. By 2007, he used sheer athletic force to drag a remarkably mediocre roster all the way to the NBA Finals. There, he ran into a highly disciplined, lethal system, Greg Popovich's San Antonio Spurs. This schematic illustrates the Spurs' defensive strategy. Notice how the defenders collapse inward to build a literal wall inside the paint. They intentionally left the perimeter entirely unguarded, daring LeBron to shoot and exposing his inconsistent jump shot. The strategy resulted in a brutal 4-0 sweep. As the series ended, Spurs veteran Tim Duncan pulled LeBron aside to offer a prophetic piece of respect. "This is going to be your league in a little bit." That defeat clarified a harsh truth. A lone star can win regular season matchups, but securing a championship demands an elite system and a highly capable supporting cast. In July 2010, LeBron abandoned Ohio to join forces with Dwyane Wade and Chris Bosh in Miami. In an instant, the beloved local hero embraced the role of the league's primary antagonist. Assembling a roster of stars yielded a humiliating reality check. In the 2011 finals against Dallas, LeBron choked. Facing a highly coordinated zone defense, his lack of refined back-to-the-basket scoring was brutally exposed. The failure forced a complete teardown of his offensive mechanics. He spent the summer working with basketball legend Hakeem Olajuwon, meticulously re-engineering his footwork to master playing out of the post. He returned the following season stripped of the angry, spiteful energy that defined his villain year. Operating with a cold, mechanical focus, he secured back-to-back NBA championships. His time in Miami proved that raw ability has an expiration date. Sustaining a career at the highest level required breaking down his own ego to adopt entirely new skills. With 2 rings secured, he walked away from the Miami Dynasty in 2014, returning to Cleveland to deliver the title he had promised his home state a decade prior. Look at this historical data distribution. Out of 32 previous NBA teams that fell into a 3-1 deficit during the finals, exactly 0 had ever come back to win the series. And LeBron was facing a Golden State Warriors team that had just set an all-time record of 73 regular season wins. Yet he forced a decisive Game 7. In the final grueling minutes, he delivered what is widely recognized as the greatest defensive play in basketball history, a physics-defying chase-down block that violently shifted the momentum. As the final buzzer sounded, securing the comeback, an emotionally exhausted LeBron collapsed to the hardwood and screamed his dedication to the city of Cleveland into the microphone. By completing a statistical impossibility against the greatest regular season team ever assembled, he placed his legacy permanently out of reach of his harshest critics. In 2018, he embarked on his current chapter with the Los Angeles Lakers. Skeptics immediately suggested he was moving to Hollywood strictly to build his media empire and quietly sunset his competitive years. In professional basketball, the human body usually forces a hard decline. A player's athletic prime typically erodes sharply once they cross the age of 35. LeBron's countermeasure is treating his body like a corporation. He invests an estimated $1.5 million annually into cutting-edge recovery science, utilizing extreme cold cryotherapy, hyperbaric chambers, and an elite medical staff to stall the aging process. The yield on that physical and financial investment is staggering. In 2023, he shattered Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's all-time scoring record, a milestone the sports world assumed would never be touched. This Los Angeles era represents his final, most impressive adaptation. He systematically hacked the human athletic lifespan to maintain elite production for 20 continuous years. This brings us to the endless, unresolvable debate. Who is the true greatest of all time, Michael Jordan or LeBron James? If you prioritize peak perfection, Michael Jordan holds the crown. His flawless 6-0 finals record and concentrated dominance represent a brilliant meteor that scorched the league. But this chart illustrates a different metric. On the left, we see Jordan's sharp, concentrated spike of 6 titles. On the right, LeBron's data forms a massive, sprawling 2-decade-long plateau. His argument rests on sustained excellence, carrying 3 franchises to championships while leading almost every cumulative historical category. By watching his eras expand sequentially on this graph, we see how his sheer volume of work offers an equally valid framework for evaluating absolute ceiling. LeBron James proved that greatness is not limited to a fleeting moment of peak perfection. It is also measured by the resilience to wake up, absorb failure, and completely reinvent yourself every single day for over 2 decades.